Hey, welcome to this presentation. My name is Sarah Michaels. So chances are you are watching this because you found us online and you're, kind of checking out website designers and looking into different people, or maybe somebody referred you to us, whether it's a client, somebody that knows our agency, knows our work. So however you got here, welcome. Like I said, on the screen here, you will see the presentation slides. It shouldn't take very long. I value your time. But I do ask, that you kind of allot like the next 15 to 20-ish minutes and, really set aside time to watch the presentation, because what you're going to get from this is, even if you don't work with our agency, we're still going to be dropping some value bombs for you here so that you'll know, okay, because it can be super overwhelming, and I totally get it. There's a lot of designers out there. There's different platforms. How do you know what the cost should be? How do you know what to look for? So even if you don't end up working with us, you're still going to walk away from this presentation here feeling really empowered, really crystal clear on exactly what you need to be asking the designers to really help you figure out how to get the site of your dreams. So welcome. This is not your mama's website. We create money-making assets, very, very different from just traditional website design. And I'm also going to tell you why most other websites suck, and they are an absolute waste of time and money, which I do not want you to do. I want you to have an awesome website that is going to generate leads and revenue for your business. So let's see if I can get to the next slide. Okay, so what you're going to get from this presentation, exactly what to look for when seeking a website designer, how much that you should be paying for a website. So how much is it going to cost, and what it would look like if you did decide to work with myself and our agency. I'm going to give you, if you stay until the end, I've got two bonuses for you. The first bonus is the ability to go to a secret page on our website where you will be able to book a complimentary consultation. Now, that's only if you have some questions or you feel like this might be a good fit and you'd kind of like to take it one step further and meet with us and see really what we could do for your business. And the second bonus that I have for you is actually, it's just a download. It's a PDF, no strings attached, a cheat sheet, and it's all the questions that you should be asking your designer when you're looking at, doing a website project. So that's yours to keep for free. So stick around. Okay. And I'm also going to tell you what Rihanna, Beyonce, and Domino's have in common. Yeah, we're going to get into that. So exactly what are we going to cover? This is kind of what I call the presentation flow for those of you who like to know. We're going to talk about, what does a website actually cost? Why cheap websites are a tempting trap? Is your website leaving you legally at risk? Why most websites suck? The 4 things your website should be doing. What your experience would be if you hire us, and if you decide so, how to hire us, and what the next steps would be. Why isn't it going? Come on now. Okay, so who am I? Why should you listen to me? So my name is Sarah Michaels. I built my business 100% online. I've been an entrepreneur for a little over 10 years. My website was actually one of the key pieces for the business that I was in that generated me leads, revenue, and clients. And I spent zero money on advertising dollars. In fact, I didn't even advertise for my business until last year because I had consistent cash flow and clients coming in from my website. I was featured in Success from Home magazine. I went on to become a certified expert website designer. I have over 10 years of experience designing websites. I've had the privilege to work with 6, 7, and 8-figure brands on their strategy, website, and lead generation techniques online. I oversaw the marketing for a tourism bureau and specialized in lead generation. Okay, so it's very different than just website designs. I'm actually not a website designer. I'm a brand strategist and a lead generation specialist. That is actually what I do. And website design is just one of those things that my agency now offers. One of the websites for our clients has generated $55,000 plus in leads. That was just in the first 2 years, I believe. And I also am the founder of the Style It Yourself course, which is a DIY website design course. So the first thing, so that's a little bit about me. Hey. So the first thing that I want to jump into is, what does a website actually cost? Now, it's going to depend on the features and functions of your website, as well as the level of design that you're wanting. Are you wanting just like a basic, it's slapped up there and I got some information? Or are you looking for like a really high end, a really classy, like a website with all the bells and whistles? Okay. So that's going to make a difference. It also makes a difference on what platform your website is being hosted on. Okay. There's, WordPress and coded websites. And then you have websites that are hosted on things like Wix, Weebly, those types of platforms. The other thing that you have to figure out is, do you need payment gateways? Are you going to be charging clients? Do you want to have a blog? Do you need a bookings calendar, automations, integrations? Do you need a gallery? Copywriting. Okay, so a lot of people, when they're looking for a website, they don't think about who's going to write the stuff that actually goes on the site. Well, little did you know, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, but that is actually called copywriting. And there's a lot of website designers out there who don't do the copywriting, and you are actually responsible for providing your own copy. And if you want good copy, then you're going to want to hire an actual copywriter to write the copy for your website if you're going to create copy that converts. It's a very specific skill set. Okay. So that is something that you need to figure out. Like, are you going to be providing that? Are you going to sit down and write all the descriptions and everything? Are you going to be providing all of the imagery for your website, or does your designer do that? Is your agency or designer going to be doing the SEO? Okay, the SEO is the search engine optimization. That's what gets your site found on the things such as Google. So when people are typing in the terms that relate to your specific business, industry, or niche, whether it's local or whether your business is completely online, you want to make sure that you're ranking higher for SEO. So is that something that your designer is going to do? Are they going to do lead capture pages and generation? Do they dive into your sales strategy? Do you need a website that's coded? Do you have an e-commerce store where you're going to be adding products in there? Okay, how many pages do you need? 1 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 plus? Do you need a membership area? Do you need a CRM or a customer management area? These are all things that are going to make a difference. Now, there are a couple different things, and I believe if you go to Google and you type in like website calculator cost 2020 or something, it it should pull up different website cost calculators for you. Those are pretty accurate. I even when working in the tourism industry, I was working with, high level designers, and a lot of them were just using online calculators to help figure out their pricing. Okay. So if you want to know some average going rates for what the websites are going for, that's a pretty good place to start and to get an idea for them. Okay. Your average, and I'll just tell you here, so your average costs for websites, okay, and like I said, website cost calculators can be helpful for this. Your basic website is probably going to sit somewhere around 3,500 if you have a good designer. I'm not talking about like, just doing a super cheap site. No, no, no. I'm talking about like if you're actually getting a custom site, you're going through all the things with your designers, you're going to be looking at about 3,500 bucks. The median price range, 10 to 25-ish pages, is about $5,000. This is obviously going to be more if you're getting like a fully coded, completely custom site. E-commerce typically starts at about $7,500. And then next level websites, I'm talking like membership areas, automations, funnels, sales strategy, the whole kit and caboodle. Those start at 10,000. Okay. And I will tell you, you will find those people online, or that like, I'll do it all for $9.99 guy. watch out for them, people. I have had so many clients come to me and be like, oh my gosh, we got totally scammed. Our website's a piece of junk and we didn't get our money back. And we didn't invest $1,000 into this website. It was actually a piece of crap. And now we're starting completely over. So I know that when you're looking at websites, you're looking at strictly the cost of a website. Okay, you're looking at, oh my gosh, what is this going to set me back? And you may be tempted to look up cheaper websites or cheaper designers, but here's the thing. Cheap websites are a temptation trap. And sure, they may seem more appealing at the onset, but they're going to end up costing you more in the long run. So I really, really urge and beg you to think long term. Think like, not, okay, what's it going to cost me right now? But think like ahead, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And what would a good website, if you were able to get one right now and you put in that extra bit, I'm not saying to go hire the most expensive designer just because they're the most expensive designer. Okay, you have to find a designer that is going to work with your business to figure out, okay, where are you at? What can you do the most with your current budget so that you don't, so that you're actually going to see a return on your investment. Okay. Cause yeah, there's a lot of, there are designers out there too, who just because you're paying 15 or 20 or, 10 or $5,000 for a website, it doesn't mean that you're getting a high quality website. So I just encourage you to think long-term with your websites and think of it as an investment. Okay, because your website is one of the most pivotal and key, like cornerstone pieces of your brand. This is where you send people to. This is where it's kind of like a virtual immersion experience where they're connecting with your brand. They're making a decision about your business. They're making a decision about you based off of what your website looks like. Okay, is your website going to be acting as your 24/7 salesperson? Is your website going to be acting as your personal assistant, right? Like, you can schedule in some of these automations so that when done correctly and you have a website that has automations, you can actually eliminate the need for some of these like assistant-ish kind of tasks because you have a really good website. So a website can be an absolute cornerstone piece of your business that's going to be an investment, or it can be something that's just like a money pit. And so, yeah, um, I just want to encourage you to think investment mindset when it comes to website. Now, here's some tips. If you are on a budget, I totally get it. For those of you who may be beginner business owners or entrepreneurs, or you have a budget that's like $3,500 or less. First of all, if that's you, nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Kudos to you for knowing that you actually need a website in the first place. So here's the first thing. Tip number one, find a designer or an agency that offers finance plans. Some of them do. I will tell you, we are an agency that offers them. They're a special option for qualified clients of ours. We call them our flex finance plans. So for example, if you've ever, done a cell phone and you put down a deposit and then you pay it every month, it's the same kind of principle that we bring into that, so that our clients, even if they're on a budget, can still get the site of their dreams and not have to sacrifice quality in order to, fit the budget. So if that's you and you get to the end, because I'll tell you, we don't design cheap sites. We don't do it. We're high end. We focus on world-class websites. But if you get to the end of this and you're like, oh, I'm just a beginner, or I'm just getting started in business, don't let the price tag intimidate you. Please reach out to us and just ask if you're feeling it. You can always reach out to us and ask what we can do with your budget or how we can work with you. Okay, so ask us about our flex finance plans, or if you're looking at other agencies, ask them if they offer any kind of finance or payment plans. Tip number two, if that is still above your budget and you just cannot swing that, look for ways to DIY your website. Okay, there's drag and drop editors that allow you. it's pretty, I don't want to say it's simple to do, but you can use these drag and drop editors to create a website to at least just get it something up and running. Okay. Um, I also offer a DIY website design course. I do offer a free trial. So if that is more your speed and you're realizing, oh, I don't know if I can actually afford a good website. If you can't afford a good website and you're in the beginning and you have more time than money, I recommend going the DIY route, and we can and I can help you get a site up and launched in 2 weeks or less. Okay, so now the next section that we have here. What do Rihanna, Beyonce, and Domino's all have in common? They all got sued over their websites for being non-compliant. Okay. And so what does non-compliant mean? So depending, you may or may not know this, but there are actually standards that your website has to adhere to. Okay, so one of those is the ADA, and I'll talk about this in a second here. It's the Americans with Disabilities, I think, Associations or Act. I always get that wrong. And what it means is that people with disabilities have to be able to come to your website and be able to have the same opportunity as those, and ability to, browse your website as those who don't have disabilities. Okay. So it means that your site has to be designed to ADA standards. They ran into issues with their sites being non-compliant, not only with the ADA, but also with the GDPR policies, as well as the CCPA privacy policy that was just enacted. It's the California one that came out in 2020. This is not just a celebrity or a big company issue. This is affecting individual entrepreneurs. It's affecting bloggers, small businesses. They are being faced with hefty fines over non-compliance issues. I personally know of 5 designers since January who have had their clients or their customers getting sued and fined for sites that are being non-compliant. These are not like big time businesses or corporations. These are local and small businesses who have received complaints or who have been found out online. And it really and truly is an issue. Now, the thing about compliant sites is that technically, it's not really the website designer's responsibility to design sites up to standard. And in fact, there's many, many website designers out there who are not designing ADA compliant sites. They don't even know what that means. And their websites are also not up to the GDPR and CCPA compliance standards. This means that you, the business owners, are responsible for knowing about website standards. Okay, so that means that the person that you hire for website design, they're not the ones that are going to get in trouble if your website isn't up to standard. That's why, and personally, we let all of our clients know about this. And so I'm letting you know right now that whether you go with us or whether you end up going with a different designer, it's very important to know about these standards and to find a designer that is going to design you a site up to standards so that it doesn't leave you legally at risk. Okay. That also means that you're going to need the proper terms and documents that you see on the bottom of a website. This includes the privacy policy, the cookies pop-up, the terms and conditions, any kind of like legal earnings disclaimer, stuff like that. That all has to be on your website. So one of the things you might want to ask your designer is, do they provide this information, or is this something that you're going to have done separately by a legal person for your website? I can tell you personally that for our websites, myself and our entire design team are all up to date with the latest ADA compliance and the privacy policy standards. So all of our sites, to the best of our ability, are designed at the highest possible standards. And we also hired a legal team to draft template documents in terms and conditions and privacy policies for all of our clients. And this is included for free. It's a $2,500 value with each one of our website packages. Okay, so now the next section, why most other websites suck. I know it's not a very great word, but it's true. There's a very, very big difference between a money making website that is an asset and a money sucking website that is literally not only leaving money on the table for people who are coming to your website, but it's also flushing money down the toilet because it's a constant expense. You have to maintain it, you're paying fees, you have to pay like designers loads of money to re-update your site. And the horrible thing is that most people who come to us, if they have hired someone in the past, that website, I'll ask them, that's the first thing I ask, did your website make you back any money? And they're like, no, not really. Did it save you time? Did it make you money? If it didn't, then it wasn't an asset that was appreciating over time. It was just a depreciation and not good. So these are the qualities or lack thereof of money sucking websites. Money sucking websites never recoup or generate the investment that was put in, and they will just continue to depreciate. So a lot of people will spend like $10,000 and it never, like, yeah, maybe someone can go to their site to buy something, but the site is poorly designed, it's not up to standards, and it never ever grows or builds the business or expands the brand. It just kind of like flatlines, and you just have to keep throwing more money at it to maintain it, to host it, to hire the people, to get in touch with them, to fix it, and do all of the things with it. So it's very expensive to maintain or upkeep, and there's always hidden fees. Okay. Unfortunately, most websites are nothing more than virtual, super expensive brochures. They are not designed for conversions or lead generation, which, if you remember, that was my specialty. So that's the difference between the sites that I design and that my agency and my team is trained to design versus other agencies. Most other agencies out there are just designing virtual brochures. But guess what? A virtual brochure doesn't walk the potential buyer or the potential customer through the client ascension process because there's no strategy behind the site design. Okay. So these money sucking sites are often cheaper, or they may seem cheaper initially, and then they end up being not an investment, and that person ends up having to go out and spend, not only did they pay for the cheap site, but then down the road in like 6 months or a year, they have to pay someone else even more money to actually get a good website, when in my opinion it is way better to just get it right the first time and actually have an investment. Okay. Or on the opposite side, a money sucking website is a website that was hella expensive. One of our previous clients spent over $17,000 on a website and it did not make money. It was poorly designed. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. And the worst part was that it took them over a year to even design the site. I have heard so many horror stories. However, on the other hand, a money making website is a website that is out there expanding your brand and building your business even when you're sleeping, or maybe you're binging TV, or you're on a beach in Bali. It's a salesperson that is working for you 24/7. Not only is it a salesperson, but it should also be acting as a personal assistant. Okay. It should be generating consistent cash flow and clientele. If your website is not doing that, if it's not making you money, then it is a money pit. Okay. Your website, when done correctly, if your website designer put in the time to do the SEO, they did your niche research. Okay. It is actually, the longer that your site sits, it's gonna get like a really wine that sits in the cellar and gets better and better. That is what websites should be doing. The longer they're online, the longer it's building your brand, the longer it's building your influence, it's actually increasing your brand over time. So it's appreciating in value as your site matures. That is the difference between a money making website and a money sucking website. They also have advanced strategies, tactics, SEOs, and combine all four of the core four design principles of a money making website, which I'm going to tell you about next. The core four principles are the four things that your website should be doing. Okay, so the four core principles of a money making website: your website should be attracting, conveying, connecting, and converting. Okay. It should be doing these four things over and over. Your website should be attracting, the first thing, attracting your ideal audience and your target customer through aligned messaging and branding that literally acts as a magnet to your customers. Okay. This is what is going to keep them on your website. There's also a strategic site flow. Okay. It's got the lead generation in mind. Like, how is this person going to go from a browser to a buyer? Like, what's the next step? So it literally starts to walk them through the process of working with you and your business. The second thing that your website should be doing is conveying. It should be conveying your brand's messaging clearly. Okay, so like not mixed messaging. It shouldn't be like mixed signals, like, what do you do or how do I hire you? I don't know. No, your messaging should be super clear. It should be authentic too. Like, it should, show who you are, while also positioning you as an expert, as an authority in your industry or your niche, somebody that you're being sought out after. Okay, so it's setting you apart. We do this through aligned imagery, scroll stopping visuals, diving into who you are, what you do, and how you can help your ideal client, and incorporating all of that into your website design. The next thing, so the third thing that your website should be doing, is connecting. A very simple concept, but oftentimes this is missed in most website designs. It should be connecting your ideal client or your target customer to you, what you do, and then connecting them to your products, services, or offers. Really simple, but oftentimes this step gets skipped. When done correctly, this is going to increase your influence, increase your income, activate the ascension process. And the ascension process is just the process of how someone goes from a freebie or a follower or a browser into a buyer or a paying customer. That's it. And we start by identifying your irresistible opt-in and making it really clear how they can hire you, how they can pay you, and how to work with you. The last thing that your website should be doing is converting. The process when a browser becomes a buyer. Cha-ching, cha-ching. If your website is not showing up dollar signs and isn't going ka-ching, you need a new one. Seriously. Like, I can't tell you how many times I hear from people. I'm like, how many sales does your website make? Like, what? None. I'm like, no, that's wrong. Your website should be converting browsers into buyers. Okay. This is done after you've established trust. They know who you are, they know what to do, and they want to hire you. They've decided that you are the expert, you are sought after, they're attracted to you, like, not like that, but you know what I mean. They're attracted to what you do because everything in 1, 2, and 3, so attraction, convey, and connection, all of that is in line. And when that happens, boom, we're going to convert them from a browser to a buyer. Okay, so the next little part that I'm going to go over here is how to work with us in our agency and what the experience would be. However, I'm going to do a slight pause here and tell you that there is a bonus right now. So the bonus is a checklist, and it is for you. So if you go to sarahmichaels.com/website-bonus, you can download the checklist. The checklist is just the questions to ask to your designer so that even if you don't end up working with us, you can still, but don't like leave the presentation, because there's more. So I'm just telling you, you can take a little pause here, download that checklist, and then come right back, or type that in, bookmark it, whatever, write it down. Okay. So just write it down. sarahmichaels.com/website-bonus. This will help you so that even if you don't end up working with us, you're still going to get some value out of it. All right. So let us continue. we're going to go over how to work with myself and my agency if I can figure out how to go to the next button. Okay, so here's the questions to ask a potential designer. How much experience do they have? Should seem obvious, but you got to ask it. Do they have testimonials? Ask for, to see their previous designs, to see their cases. What did they do? Who did they work with? It's also important to understand what platform do they design on. Do they use Wix? Do they use WordPress? Do they use Weebly, Squarespace? I've designed on all of the major platforms before we finally settled on the platform that I now design on, which is Wix. I prefer it. I think it's amazing, especially for local or small businesses. Every platform is different. Every designer is different. In my opinion, the two best platforms for business people, or most popular ones, would be Wix and WordPress. I personally think WordPress is a little outdated and unnecessary, so my favorite platform is Wix, but personal preference. So you are going to want to ask what platform they design on, because that's also going to affect your costs. WordPress sites are historically more expensive because they just are. So another thing to ask your designer, are they going to do the copywriting, or is that something that you're going to be providing? Do you have to supply your own brand photos, or do they offer brand styling packages? Does your site come with SEO? And if so, is the SEO done for each and every single page? And is every page optimized for SEO, or is it just the site in general? Okay. Is the site mobile optimized and responsive? Does the potential designer design up to the compliant standards? Do they provide you with terms and conditions? What's their average turnaround time? Do they work on multiple clients at one time? Okay, because I know for our agency, we only do one client at a time, and it's a pretty intensive design process. This really allows us to have more focus on the clients that we're working on. But I have known and heard of other designers who they're doing like multiple projects, like anywhere from 3 to 7 to 10 projects at a time. So if you're somebody who really wants that like experience and a faster turnaround time, you may want to ask how many projects they're doing at once. Okay, so those are just some questions to ask your designer. So now here I'm going to get into what do we do as an agency and how could we help you? So first of all, we offer currently two options for website design. The first option is a DIY website design course. This is typically most popular for those beginner business owners who have less than a $3,500 budget, or maybe you've just got more time than you have money, or maybe you just want to design your own site. So that's the first option that we have. You can feel free to ask us or ask me about that if you feel like that would, fit your needs a little bit better. There's multiple payment options. The second thing that we offer is done for you, completely custom site design. Okay. And I should note, with the DIY design course, you can also purchase one of our like custom templates if that's something that interests you. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I love that site design, I want to do that, you can purchase a template, you can get the course, and you're good to go. So with our done for you completely custom site designs, that's where myself and my team will go over your brand strategy, exactly what you need, what's really going to help your site sell, and how are you going to make money? How are you going to expand your brand? And we build your dream site from the ground up. So who we specialize in working with. Now, keep in mind, this is just a list, or like, this is who we've been working with. If you're outside of that, it's not to say that we don't work with you. So we'll typically work with like boutique or luxury businesses. And what I mean by that is like they're higher end, or they're like smaller, or a little bit more of niche businesses. We've specialized in working with tourism agencies or destinations. So, i.e., if you're in a tourism or touristy place, because I worked in the tourism industry, that is just an area that we work with. So we work with individuals as well as influencers, entrepreneurs, podcasters. We've worked with YouTubers, bloggers, course creators, spas, salons, wellness professionals, personal trainers, hairstylists, makeup artists. We work with network marketing leaders. So typically those earners who are at like the 10K plus mark per month. Okay. Like, or just you've made your first 10,000. That's awesome. But most of the time, the network marketers that we're working with are at the 10K plus per month. Fitness and wellness professionals, authors, coaches and consultants, e-commerce sites. These are all people that we work with. Now, most of the time, the jobs that we're doing are not, we don't code. I should be very clear about that. So not coding. So as long as that's you, then read on. So the platform that we design on is actually Wix. Like I mentioned before, I designed on all of the major platforms, GoDaddy, Squarespace. I started out designing on WordPress. Don't recommend. It's hella expensive. It's way outdated. And honestly, unless you're a business who has like a lot of need for coding, I don't know why you would design on WordPress. It's hella unnecessary. So I switched to Wix. This will be going on my 4th year now. I'm a certified expert designer with Wix. I use it for myself as well as all of our clients. And it is honestly so perfect for the solopreneur, the online entrepreneur, or the small business owners, because not only is Wix an extremely capable design platform, but it's more than that. It's like an all-in-one business solution because it offers Ascend. Okay, so this is what I talk about here when I talk about Ascend. Ascend has built-in automations. It allows you to be able to manage your customers, your contacts, your payment gateways, pricing, invoicing, emails, and so instead of have like calendars, bookings, right? So a lot of the times with these other websites, you'll have all of these different apps or plugins, and they're all on different platforms. And what you do is then you kind of have to like plug in these different apps to your site. So what you get is like a website that's essentially just duct taped together, and you're paying for all of these different services everywhere else, and you're trying to manage everything. And when our clients switch over to Wix, they're just like mind blown. Okay, they're just mind blown because they're like, oh my gosh, I can invoice in one place. I can email my customers in one place. I have my automations here. Like everything is just so much more streamlined for our clients because we use Wix, and it is the most powerful platform out there, in my opinion, and it is just going to blow everybody else out of the market. So that is why we design on Wix. So here's just some of the list of what our Wix websites are capable of doing. E-commerce, payments, bookings, calendar, automations, integrations, events, invoicing and price quotes, CRM, email marketing, advertising, photo editing, social posts, and much more. It is literally amazing. So now I'm going to get into what we specifically include with our websites and our website packages. So with our websites, the first thing that you get if you were to work with us is a brand strategy consultation. Our brand strategy consultations are valued at $2,500. This is what it costs for someone to come in and work with us for a period of time on their strategy, their marketing plan and everything. That is what someone outside of our website projects would pay us to do. Okay. So that's the first thing you get. We really dive into who you are, what you do, what your service plan is, and that whole thing. Like how are we going to take your business and turn this into a website? So that's the first thing. The second thing you get with our websites are 3 design appointments with our designers when you hire us. Okay, so those design appointments are typically 20 to 30 minutes long. Throughout the design process, we get your feedback, we work with you, and it's just a really, cool way to keep you in the loop and keep you updated with what's going on. The third thing that you get is strategic site design. Meaning when we're going in and we've figured out what your brand strategy is, we're designing your site strategically to have your irresistible opt-in, to be able to connect people to your offer and get them in the door, or on the phone with you. Okay, so to get them into your business, into your offer, paying you whatever that entry level point is into your business, that is the goal. And we incorporate this into your website to create a high converting website that is designed specifically to generate leads and revenue. So we do this through the lead capture and your funnel. We also offer brand styling. Okay, so with our brand styling, we will go in and custom curate images based off of your brand, your personality, like your business's website, to make it look really professional, to stand out, and really to help attract your ideal customers, convey your branding, and connect them to you. The next thing we offer is competitive niche research. Yeah. So we dive into your brand, your competitors, your online strategy, your keywords, your hashtags, your SEO, the whole thing. Our competitive niche research is currently offered at $1,500. So if you were to hire us for a whole workup for your business separately, that's what we would charge. We do SEO and optimization for every single page of your website. Every photo has the appropriate alt text and the SEO based off of the niche research that we do on your website. We also offer copywriting. So instead of going out and spending $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 to hire a professional copywriter, our designers, who are also trained copywriters who took the copywriting course, will work on your website to do the copywriting. We also offer a compliance. So all of our sites, as you know, as I mentioned, are designed to the highest standard, ADA compliance, as well as the GDPR and CCPA. We also offer something called our legal and compliance bundle, which I mentioned is the terms and conditions, the privacy policy, everything that our legal team put together. For you to be able to go out and hire a legal team to do that, you're looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. Okay. Every single template, if you were to go to the template, like a contract shop, those are $500 per template. Okay. And so you need terms and conditions, privacy policy, disclaimer, all. So that right there, with those three, you're looking at $1,500. And this is included with each one of our sites, thanks to our legal team. We also offer a very fast turnaround team for our industry. We have a more intensive design process, which means when you work with us, you are our priority. And so we are able to design sites in weeks, not months, not years, weeks. We also offer flexible finance payment plans. So whether you are just getting started, or whether that's something that interests you, maybe you want to, use your marketing budget elsewhere, our flexible finance plans make it easy and affordable for anyone to get their dream site without sacrificing quality. After the site is completed, we offer 30 days of ongoing support. So we're not just going to ditch you and leave you once your site is done. We are going to continue to offer support to you to answer your questions and make ourselves available. And in addition to all of that, you also get access to a client portal, as well as you get included access to the Style It Yourself course and all of the tutorials. So whether you want us to manage your site after the project's over, or whether you want your personal assistant, or whether you just want to do the regular site maintenance, you'll know exactly how to do everything thanks to the Style It Yourself course. Okay, so the value of our websites, with everything that I just mentioned, the brand consultation, brand styling, compliant site design, the legal bundle, copywriting, SEO, already we're at a value of $9,500 plus. Okay. However, when you get it in our websites, you're going to be able to get the value of all of that inside of a premium package. Okay. So this is what our websites look like. And keep in mind, every one of our websites includes what I mentioned right here: a brand consultation, a styling, we'll do compliant site design, you'll get access to our legal bundle, we'll do your copywriting and your SEO. So that puts us right here. So here is what's included with our premium site packages. So our very most basic website starts at $4,500. Okay. Our upgraded site starts at 7,500, and then our next level site starts at 10,000. This would be for 25 plus pages, completely custom, e-commerce, extra features, automations, integrations, and more. You can see the turnaround time for each one of these. Our basic sites have an average turnaround time of about 2 to 4 weeks. Our upgraded, which is our medium sites, are usually anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. And then our next level sites are anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. Now, typically, we'll see that the average, so for most entrepreneurs or businesses who are just getting started, the basic package is really probably where you're going to stay. Okay, like it's really popular with our beginner entrepreneurs or beginner business owners. Our upgrade or next level packages, those are really for the business that's already consistently or at least 10 figures a month or is at 6 figures. Okay, so that is really for those people. So you would want to ask us about our upgraded site and the options, as well as our next level site. We don't do cheap sites. I warned you before. I know that it can be a little bit of a sticker shock, but we specialize in world-class websites and a 5-star design experience for our clients. We don't do cheap. We don't cut corners, and we cannot do low price. Like, I tried to do cheap websites. I really tried, and I'm honestly incapable of it because I just can't. The sites that we design become money-making assets for our clients. It becomes a pivotal piece of their brand, and it's an absolute investment. So yeah, we're expensive, but we're 100% worth it. The websites that we will do for your business are an investment, not only into your brand, but into your business as well. You will receive from us high quality work, a website that will be working for you and becoming your best asset while establishing you as an expert or authority in your industry or niche. Now, like I mentioned before, we do offer flexible payment plans. So if you're interested in working with us and in getting started, we offer 3 types of payment options. The first is a pay in full. You get a 10% discount when you decide to go this route. The second option that we offer is a no-fee payment split. So it's 50% due at the beginning or 50% due at the end. Or I think if it's the 7,500 plus, we also offer 33, 33, 33. Or we offer flex financing. Now, depending on the package that you select, if you're approved for flex financing, there's a certain percentage of deposit down, and then you can flex your rest of your website payments for either 6 months or 12 months. So if that is something that you're interested in, please go ahead and ask us about our flex finance plans. So if you are interested in applying to work with us, we don't take everyone. So we do take clients by application only. So if you are interested in applying for one of our client slots, or if you just want a custom quote, go ahead and fill out a quick application and we will get in touch with you. So you can do that at theloft30a.com/apply. Or just go ahead and send an email to theloft30a@gmail.com. Just let us know, like, hey, I'm interested in a site. I kind of want to know a little bit about what's next. So here's how to hire us and what your next steps would be. So the first thing that you would want to do is to fill out that application, like I mentioned, or just even to send us an email, a message. Let us know if you're interested. We'll get you the application over. We'll let you know if we have any time slots open right now or when our next openings would be. Our current waitlist time right now is about 3 to 6 months. And this is what I will tell you. So because we do have this waitlist now, in order to hold your position on our waitlist, we do require a $500 deposit. It will be applied to your project total, and I am going to be full disclosure, it's non-refundable. Okay, so I would put that down absolutely if you want to hold your spot. If you're like, okay, it's April right now, I want to hold my spot for June. You put the $500 down. Awesome. It's not like you don't pay extra. We'll take that 500. that goes towards your project. Okay. But it really will just help us only be able to work with those who are serious about working with us, because we're holding your spot. Like, we're turning people away so that you can be able to book and to work with us. So we do require that deposit. So if that's something you're interested in and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get on your wait list, where can I send my $500? Just let us know. So thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited to hear back from you. If you would like to book, you can go ahead and book a complimentary consultation. Thank you for watching this. So the consultation would definitely be for those of you who are interested in either working with our agency, you have extra questions. It's a $197 value. It's 20 minutes long. You get 20 minutes of my undivided attention. So you can go to sarahmichaels.com/book online. This is a secret page on my website. Click on, I think it's called the complimentary consultation. If it asks for a code, type in Moneymaker. I think it's Moneymaker, all caps. But I think if you click on that, it shouldn't. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I am really excited to hear from you. I'm excited to hear about your website project and if we would be able to help you. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to book a consultation if you do, or go ahead and send us an email to theloft38@gmail.com. Bye. I can't figure out how to close the thing. Let's hit escape. See if this works. Nope. Made it bigger.